down here from Enzo's, where it's not about the dog.
If you're new here, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we answer your questions. What's our question today, Don?
Good question, Karen. Our question, our question is, this is a big one, socialization. There is this whole thing going on right now about what socialization is, and we are going to define that for you right now, okay?
Well, and I don't think it's right now. I think for very, very, very many years, there's been several different ideas on what socialization with our dog is.
Yeah, true. And this whole, like dog parks, when I was a kid, well, we didn't even have a leash.
There was no dog parks.
There were dog parks. We didn't put fences. I grew up in the country. We did have a fence, but our dog, Lucky, he just went around with us. The dogs in the neighborhoods weren't fighting. Lucky lived outside.
And they didn't like go and play with each other for hours
No.
like the dogs are at the dog park.
Oh my Lord, no. So in a nutshell, to start it off, let's talk about socialization. Socialization for us means, the meaning of socialization for us here at Enzo's means that your dog can be with you in public places, in your home, wherever you are. And the relationship that you have between you and your dog, it's between you and your dog. And whether your dog is a player or not, doesn't matter. A socialized dog means that you can take your dog anywhere, do pretty much anything with your dog, and your dog defers to you for that leadership. What socialization does not mean, okay, here's the big thing. What it does not mean to us here is that your dog can go to the dog park or that your dog is going to be pet by strangers. Your dog can be pet by meaningful people, but not by strangers.
And that my dog is not going to go up and say hi to every other dog on the street.
Not to a dog, not to a person, nothing. If you met me on the beach with my dogs would be off leash. But they would never go up to you or another dog. And if you went up to my dog, they would... Little Ronan's in here with us. If you walked up to my dogs would come right back to me on the beach and look at me, and I'd be like, nope, this is what we're doing. And I would tell them what we were doing, and they wouldn't go up to you. I was at the beach not too long ago, a group of men. I hate to say that, but it's typically men. I have German Shepherds, and you know, the guys are like, oh my God, those are such great German Shepherds. And a lot of men do this with my dogs. And, can I pet your dog? And I 99% say no. We're on the beach. We're playing ball. I'm like, no. There are like 6 of them. And I thought it would be kind of funny. I'm like, if I release them, I told these people, if I release them to you, it is game on. And my dogs are going to be all over you to play with them and all that. And they're like, oh, it's fine. And then I did. And my dogs went crazy. And they're like, wow, that is, they realized why I didn't. But then they thought that was awesome because my dogs have an on and an off switch. They know I can say yes, go play with them, or no. But it doesn't make them more or less social that they do interact with people or don't. We have 20 to 30 dogs in class on Saturdays. The dogs don't sniff each other. They don't say hi to each other. They don't anything. They come in with their owners. They sit nicely. They're calm. They interact the way that we want them to interact in doing things. But I think this is such a myth, though, that's going around, and like Karen said, for a long time. But we have to start understanding what it actually means.
Well, and let's talk about what you just said about your dog saying hi to people, and when they can say hi to people, and when they can say hi to other dogs. So my thing is, I have dogs. Dogs are dogs, and I have created their pack. Okay, so I have a group of friends who can come over to my house, and my dogs play with those dogs. That's my dog's pack. It's my brother's dog, my best friend's dog, people who are important to me in my life, and so their dogs are important to me too, and those are my dog's friends. Mm-hmm. Me going to, say, a dog park and letting anybody's dog run up to my dog, or my dog run up to anybody else's dog, makes me feel very uncomfortable because I don't know that person or that dog and how they are in the world. And it actually makes me very nervous.
Me
so
too.
I'm probably,
Mm-hmm. I go to dog parks when I'm with clients who love dog parks. So I go to dog parks and I work with clients there so that they can see that I have never been to a dog park, me personally, where I'm working dogs that I haven't seen some kind of scuffle come. And I don't want my dogs to be part of that. I don't want them to learn that behavior, and I don't want them to be bullied in that behavior or become the bully. Like I don't want my dogs to be a bully, and so we don't do that. But it also, when I take my dogs places, if you walk up to me, 90% of the time I'm going to say, no, you can't pet my dog. A couple years ago.
And that won't make your dog less social.
No. Oh, my Lord.
My kids. My human kids.
Your human kids. Yes, that was a big thing.
So I have 2 human children. And from the day they were born, they had different personalities. And that's what Dawn was talking about, a playful dog or a not playful dog. They had different personalities from the day they were born. And this helped me immensely in learning about dog personalities. Is my son was very outgoing and very gregarious and social. So, but I didn't let every person come up and hold him or touch him or shake his hand or hug him or whatever, even though he may have wanted to do that because it may not have been socially acceptable or whatever in the environment we were at. Did that make him less social? No, it taught him time and place and appropriateness of when to be social. My daughter, on the other hand, very shy. The whole hiding behind me, don't hug me. Oh God, she drove me crazy. And so for her, I also didn't let every stranger come up and touch her because, oh my God, no matter what anybody says to you, the more strangers touch your dog, it's not going to make them more social. So no one came up and touched my daughter. But she did learn how to stand politely next to me and not make inappropriate noises or behave antisocial.
Yeah.
So teaching my dogs and my children how to behave in a social situation is what we're talking about.
Yeah. We have actually Loki. That brings me to Loki. Love Loki. If anybody's been in my class in the last 2.5 years, you know who Loki is. The German Shepherd Loki. Kieran Kevin's dog, amazing dog. We trained him here, but we were not his first trainers. We were his third, fourth, and they had talked about euthanizing him. They had talked about rehoming him. Lots of things. The owners didn't. Other trainers had, and his mom had trained many guide dogs for the blind. And they had a lot of people interacting with those dogs. He was not the dog you could do that with because actually he loves people, but every time he interacts, it adrenalizes him. And we all know what adrenaline does. Adrenaline releases dopamine. Well, they believed that it would go away the more people who touched him. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Well, what it actually did is it made him very reactive in an adrenalized way. So he would see a person and he'd be like, ho, 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 to try to get to that person, screaming. You could hear him down the block. It was the joke on our pack walk, so you could hear him the whole time screaming. He had to learn that there was no end game to that. So what would happen was he would scream, they'd get to a person, they'd pet him, so he got his reward. We can't do that with our dogs. Like Loki's a dog who likes human interaction, right? Other dogs hide. In fact, little Ronan's here, he would hide from people who he didn't want to interact with, right? Neither are good. They're both on opposite ends. Neither are good things to have. So for us, I want you to build a strong relationship with your dog based on having a social dog does not mean that anybody who's not meaningful touches your dog ever, ever, ever.
So, and to finish Dawn's theory about Loki, what we taught him was if he remained in his command and if he remained calm, then perhaps the person who his owners picked was allowed to come and pet him, they would.
Yeah.
And it was so here it is. You're going to hear us say this so many times in all of our things. These are learned behaviors. Learned behaviors. He learned if he screamed, he got to go say hi to people. And what we have to do is change that mindset that if it's not what the behavior you want your dog to have, that you have to give him something else to do. You can't just tell him, no, don't do that. We have to train him, give him something else to do, teach them to be polite like I did with my daughter. Yeah. And that's something that we could do here for you at Enzo's, or you can try that yourself at home if it works for you, teaching them to do something else and learn that not everyone is going to say hi to them. That's something that you should try. And if you have any questions about it, feel free to contact us. And thanks for tuning in.
Yep. Remember, you guys, it's not about the dog.
Woohoo! Hey.